Ha 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 ha. Woo! Boy, oh boy, oh boy. Late Ill Kid at OneYoungsta holding it down, bringing that street geek and nerd soul. What is up, my people? Today, all year, coming with another wonderful episode of That's Right, Loungin. I am chilling. You are chilling. Everybody, you're on the Styles top billing. I am joined by, of course, Lady Lisa. Say hey.
Hey, y'all.
We are ready to have a hallelujah good time. Yeah, you better believe that. We got some cool people in the chat. I want to give a shout out to already before we even get started. Alan Lewis in the house. We got Panda in the house. Big shout out to Panda, largest Patreon supporter. Thank you so much. And all you guys, whether you're a Patreon supporter or not, you can make sure to support me by hitting that thumbs up. Or you can hit that thumbs down, but definitely leave a comment. Be like, yo, you whack or you dope. And also don't forget to share this stream out so we can get it on in the comments or in the chat right now. Also, big shout out to the QA podcast. We got VV in the house and we got Shango Zulu. What is up? What is up? Also, big shout out to Thought Crimes. Just tons of love to them because I got a chance to talk to them earlier today. They are awesome as always. Princess N, you guys are dope. So, we've got some stories today. That's right, Panda, we in here. What do you want to start with?
You know, I always like to handle the serious stuff and
first?
end on a light note.
Okay, so all right, you want to start with Lonnie? Arkham James in the house. Let's do Lonnie Love letters.
Okay.
Because Lonnie Love recently, you know, they had their 100th episode, 1000th episode or something of The Real.
It might have been. I'm pretty sure it wasn't hundreds. It had to be like 1,000.
All right, so it was a huge milestone for The Real. It was a big deal, and of course, Lonnie Love did she make a toast to Tamar Braxton? Or did she just remark upon her?
I don't know. She said that, you know, this is Tamar's 1,000th too, and it's like,
yeah,
no, it ain't.
She was like, you know, Tamar, this is for you too. We love you. Well, the idea was that she got Tamar fired back in the day. Now, Tamar brought up this thing like, yo, you was emailing letters, this, that, and the third. And she was like, nah, that's not true. Who writes letters? Then Cookie comes out on Comedy Hype in an interview saying, yeah, Lonnie was telling me that she had been writing her letters like when she was missing episodes because she was on Dancing with the Stars. She said she would, you know, email the producers of the show saying, you know, hey, you know, she's not here and the ratings are still good. We can do this without her kind of thing. And then also when she got injured on Dancing with the Stars, she emailed, you know, the producers of the show again saying like, hey, you know, she's hurt, she could be an insurance liability, things like that, things that would kind of like influence people to put you off the show or not re-sign your contract. And now that it's out that, you know, her friend is like, no, she definitely said that, and corroborates the story that Tamar said that she heard. Now people are looking at Arkham James said Lonnie looked like the type to get someone fired. Now it looks like Lonnie been caught in a lie. You know what I'm saying? Because Cookie said that she stated, I want to be the only hood chick or the only ghetto chick on the show. To that extent. I bring this up because a lot of us, you know, people just doing our thing, working day to day, trying to grind. You know what I'm saying? And I want to make sure that we shine a light on this story so guys, you can keep up your antennas, all right? Because there's a Lonnie Love at every job, all right? And I'm going to just keep it real with y'all. You never know. You never know who's Lonnie loving you at the job. You know what I'm saying? You leave work early. They send in little emails, or you instead of a 15-minute break, you take a 20-minute break. They come emailing. You know what I'm saying? Or you taking time off that they don't think you should be taking time off. There's always someone who wants to have the clipboard at the job. You know what I'm saying? And I think Lonnie is one of those people. And we can take this situation that celebrities are going through and apply it to our lives and be like, look, just keep your eyes open. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm sure Tamar was like, oh, we cool. Till she got fired. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, everybody up in your job, Don't be getting all buddy because you never know. You know what I'm saying? So big shout out to VV said Loni wasn't a friend. Wow, I'm surprised. Not. And Shango says Tamar isn't a hood chick, she's a diva. Which is a difference, I guess you could say.
Okay.
Well, then weigh in.
She's a diva with very hoodish tendencies.
Oh, man.
I'll meet you in the middle on that, okay?
Arkham James says Loni is DC's Granny Goodness. No, we've already given that to Oprah. So she can't be Granny Goodness. Maybe she can be one of the other Furies, but she can't be Granny Goodness. Kibi's in the house. What up, Kibi? Hey, nice to see you. But yeah, I think this is one of those situations when there's people that are smiling in your face
all the time. Won't take your place.
Backstabbers. Whoo, backstabbers. All up in your emails. You know what I'm saying? And then Loni was like, who writes letters? You know good and well what we mean by letters. We're talking about the letters of the day.
That she said letters.
You know what I'm saying? Letters of the day, which are emails. It's electronic mail. What is mailed, may you ask?
It is letters. Weird. You have to admit, it's weird that she said letters.
But still, you know what she meant. Well, you know what she meant.
No one refers to emails as letters.
Okay,
let's be real.
Let me stop you right here.
No one.
Say you're Loni Love, all right, and you're hearing this story, and someone says, "Hey, you've been sending letters to the producers trying to fire me," and you be like, "What do you mean by letters? You never said no, you didn't do it because you know good and well what you're talking about."
Because I didn't write letters.
Oh, it's a distinction without a difference.
No, that's not true. If we were in 1982, then yes. But no one writes letters. So
but you know what she meant.
When somebody says, "Lisa, you've been writing letters to my husband," I'm like, "Who? What the hell have I written some letters?"
But if you've been writing correspondence to her husband, you know what she's talking about.
No, I don't, because I've been writing. No, because seriously, if somebody says I've been writing letters, I'm thinking, so they telling me they got some letters in their hand or something I wrote like,
you hear this Loni Love over here?
No.
I'm just saying.
No, let's be real. Okay, everybody.
Loni knew exactly what Tamar was talking about.
Who the freak writes?
And she tried to be funny by using verbal gymnastics and linguistics around technicalities of what a letter is. Okay. And she knew good and well she had been writing to her producers trying to get her fired. And that's the type of person that you'll be working with. There'll be 2 cubicles down. And you'll be like, yo, how am I getting in trouble? Why am I getting in trouble? Because you don't know that they write letters, all right? They writing letters.
Sending Morse code. I mean, who writes
all to your bosses. Arkham James says Loni is Marvel's Hella, or Amanda Waller. Yeah, Panda says I write letters. But yeah, you just gotta be aware, because there's a lot of times when, you know, on the show it seemed like everybody was cool, right? You know what I'm saying? And that makes me look, and I'm sure that would make you look at the rest of the crew weird, because you're like, okay, if she was writing this stuff, people at your job talk. You know what I'm saying? So if she writing this stuff, then why don't Tia, Tamara, whichever one it is, I'm sorry, I don't know exactly one, and the other girl, Tamara and the other girls, why they ain't say nothing? Why y'all ain't hold me down? You know what I'm saying? You just gotta look at that kind of funny sometimes, like, why y'all ain't hold me down? So yeah, that Loni Love, just don't trust it. I'm just saying, don't trust it. And I'd be interested to see, because they said that they're not extending her contract now, that, you know, she's basically at the end of her contract, they're done, and they're just going to stick with Amanda Seales, which will give you a whole beige table. But Loni Love, I mean, hey, looks like you've been phased out too. You know what I'm saying? It's tough out there. But I mean, you never know. She might bounce back. Might. I mean, they say she's a comedian, so you never know. Maybe she'll have a Netflix special. You never know. So, guys, we have another story I want to move on to, which is They've Gotta Have Us. Mm-hmm. Netflix has a documentary by Array, which is Ava DuVernay's company. And the documentary is a series based on Black people in film. There's only a couple of things that I want to touch on in it, but I do think that it's incomplete, if I may say. Big shout out to Panda. Panda said, email is a letter. I agree with you, nerd. Everything else is semantics. Why? Thank you.
Oh
why? Thank you. But nah.
Try sending the email through the postal service. Can't be done because it's not the same thing.
Oh man! But with that said, they had this documentary. It centers around black people in film. They have like Harry Belafonte. They have Robert Townsend. They have Daniel Kaluuya. Who else did they have in there? They talked about Jordan Peele and stuff like that. They had some other luminaries that were talking about like Moonlight, and talked about John Boyega. He was in there. You know, things of that nature that talked about like black people in film. There's a couple of issues that they touched on that I thought was interesting. You want to talk about Juicy first?
Sure.
All right, so Juicy Smollett is in there. And Juicy, all right, we know what went down with Juicy. And I'm not a super fan of Juicy, but we know what happened with Juicy.
So if you're not sure, we're referring to Jussie Smollett.
Jussie Smollett, all right? So Juicy's on there, and he's like, you know, the films are so important and representation is so important because do you know what Hattie McDaniels went through? Do you know what Sidney Poitier went through? I'm like, do you? Because you pretended to go through something that they probably really did go through, and now you trying to reap the benefits. And had the nerve to put your butt on a documentary. This is probably before that happened though. I don't know, maybe it wasn't. But I'm like, dude, whenever you get in trouble, you're supposed to lay low. It's like,
yeah, I'm sure it was done before that.
It was probably done before that. The documentary, so they have Jussie on there, or Juicy on there, on some, do you know what they went through? I'm like, do you? Do you? And then they have another segment that they touched on, which was black British actors taking what would be termed as a very quintessential American role, American black role. For instance, David Oyelowo playing Dr. Martin Luther King, or Daniel Kaluuya playing the boyfriend to, I cannot remember the actress's name, but in Get Out. You know, two things that are very black American-y. And there's other roles as well that have been brought up. And I guess the first kind of thing that was brought up was by Samuel L. Jackson a while ago. So they jump on this topic, and it's very surface level and almost making it seem like there's not a conversation to be had about this because we're all black. And did you want to, because I have something I want to dive off into, but I don't want to, I don't want you to lose your thought if you got one.
Well, I just, just like we were talking about, the African American experience is very different and very unique.
True.
And, so I think that has to be thought about, and, in making movies and making art, you have to be sensitive to that fact. It's not to make it them against us. It's not that at all. But I don't think it's fair, to put someone who is not African American, even though they're black, in a certain position and play a certain role, and expect them to be able to portray on film the same way that an African American could. Just because as an African American, just because we, you and I, did not, in our, your generation, my generation, we didn't go through the things our parents did, but our parents did.
Yeah,
our grandparents did.
And we've heard stories.
And experiences, and we know about those things. And so that's actually,
and we lived in the fallout from that generation.
So that's part of our history, part of our culture, and innately part of us. That's a totally different experience for blacks that are not African American. And I think they need to be sensitive to that. We're not making it an us against them thing. We're just saying it's no different than asking, white people to recognize us and saying, you need to be sensitive to what our experience is. Yeah.
And in that, I think this documentary was essentially a lot of people that were Ava DuVernay's friends got together and told the story of black cinema. They skated over blaxploitation, which for better or for worse, put a lot of black people to work, put a lot of black people in the forefront, and brought a lot of awareness to the collective consciousness of blackness at that time. Even if it was just a fraction of it, at that time brought awareness to it. You know, Dolomite, the Mac, stuff like that. They just brushed over that, but then wanted to talk about Moonlight over and over and over, as if that was the only black film that existed. And don't get me wrong, I have no hate against Moonlight. You know, got awards and all kinds of cool stuff. But to start back at Hattie McDaniels, Sidney Poitier, we're coming forward, going forward, and then we skip all the stuff like Uptown Saturday Night and Dolomite, and we skipped. They brushed over Pam Grier. They brushed over that in like 5 minutes, maybe.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I thought this was a documentary about black film created by black people, and you're not even deep diving on what black film is. Like, now, big shout out to giving, you know, all the props to like Robert Townsend and stuff, because he's been putting it down for a minute, but they skipped all that. Yeah. To kind of put to bed this whole British black actor thing. And I think that the story is getting conflated with people being against the actors. The argument isn't that the actors aren't good or we don't like them. The argument is against the system that chooses them instead of choosing us. And it's even worse because it seems that even in roles that we, meaning American black people, are writing, producing, and directing, are still choosing them over choosing us. Right. So it's not a situation where we're mad at, say, Daniel Kaluuya or John Boyega. They're just an actor taking a job. It's at the systematic casting of that actor over a black actor. And what almost makes it worse is they do this kind of thing that white people do, where they throw up this barrier that they know you can't pass. So in other words, they're theatrically trained in RSC, which is this like a film school, or I guess theater school or whatever, all the way in the UK. So it's like, you know, I can't go to that school. You know, it's impossible. You know, the general rat race that black people are put through financially, and I can barely get to college in state. So now your new barrier is that I need to go to RSC because all these actors from RSC are so amazing, and it's written off. There's a brother in there that wrote it off as these guys are theatrically trained and you just have the look. And I'm like, I feel like they sold black actors short.
They're moving the goalposts.
They moved the goalposts and they sold black actors short in that moment. And Spike Lee did that too. Spike Lee said something about like them being at RSC and something like, you've only been in like a music video or something to that. I'm paraphrasing. I know I'm messing up, but he said a quote about like, you know, meaning American black people have only been in like music videos or something, and now you want to act. And I'm like, so where did you study before you made your films? Did you study at some classical film school? No. You know what I'm saying? But now you're regarded as Spike Lee, a great. So it's like you want to put up these barriers that weren't there for you, that the rules that you didn't play by because you were the renegade, you were the rebel at the time. And now all of a sudden there's these barriers for black actors in America. And I'm like, I don't mind playing the game, but call the game what it is. Yeah. Don't make this documentary and kind of put this in to make it seem like you're absolved of this. Oh, well, of course we would cast them because they're so amazing and they're theatrically trained. And it's like, that's not what we're saying. Theatrically trained or not, you don't see this happen when there's other roles coming up. Like, for instance, they've talked about white actors from, say, Australia or Canada, and you never see them bringing up, oh, well, they were classically trained at blah, blah, blah school. You know what I'm saying? They're just like, no, we casted this guy and that's it. Like, if you want to cast them, just say you're going to cast them, but don't put up this fake goalpost or fake, you know, gate in front of these people when you know that you're giving them a role for another reason. And it might be because they're your friends. There might be because you know that the people that are hiring you to make this, to make this movie see American black as somehow less than foreign black. But I want to get into some of the comments because you guys have been weighing in, and thank you for weighing in. First off, Panda says Fred Hampton. Yeah, there's a film where Fred Hampton, the guy playing Fred Hampton, is I believe from the UK. Let me know.
Seriously?
I believe. Yeah, the guy.
Seriously.
Yes, Fred Hampton.
Okay.
Fred Hampton.
So the head.
But I mean, they already did King.
So the
you know what I'm saying?
So the head of a movement.
Yes.
That is completely unique to the African American experience. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So VV says Ava seems to have an agenda. And I lost it real quick. Sorry. Let's see if I can find it again. If I can't find it, I will come back to it in a second because it just like jumped real quick. Here goes. Oh yeah. Ava seems to have an agenda which will make me not support her work. Yeah, she's been moving in some funny ways, and not where she's just crazy or saying anything out of the way, but she just does weird stuff every now and then. Like, remember when she jumped up on social media like, "Don't call me auntie"? It's like, stop acting like you 25. Like, what? Why are people? There's this ageist thing. There's this ageism thing where people are so scared to grow up, and that's a whole other thing.
Well,
but
and also with that, you don't know when you're being paid a compliment.
Yeah.
If someone refers to you as auntie, it's not to call you old and disrespect you. It's to say that I revere you. I hold you in high regard.
I
hold you in high regard. You're not quite at the level of mom or grandma, but auntie, because in the black culture, you respect your auntie. You see your auntie as, of course, maybe like a second mom.
Yeah.
Not grandma at all, but it's someone you look up to, someone you respect, someone you like.
Yes.
So
then big shout out to Herbert Scott up in the chat. What up? Nice to see you up in here. Kibi says, good point with African/African American experiences. It's no disrespect or dissension. There are distinct differences and similarities that are unique and beautiful. Yeah, that would be like casting me to play a black role of a black leader that was in UK, in the UK movement. I'd be like, I don't understand. Like, racism, trust me, white people have done their thing all over the world, but there's a difference.
Yeah.
The brand, like I say, the brand of racism is different. It's still racism, but it's different. And I didn't live through it, and I don't have friends that live through it, and I'm not stuck in it today. And I can't taste and touch and feel that. You know what I'm saying? Big shout out to VV said a lot of African American actors come out of Juilliard, Yale, Howard, and other good schools. And other good schools in America. And Panda says, as if American blacks aren't classically trained. They are. Thank you. Let's see. Kibi said, right. Spike Lee, show us your credentials. Yeah. It's like, come on, man. Like, you just picked up a camera and got to it. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with standing up one day and being like, I'm going to do this. Right. You know what I'm saying? It's like, on one hand, we want to praise that, the entrepreneurial spirit. Go out and just make it happen. Work hard and just go out and just start acting. Start being in stuff. Start trying. Start giving it 100%. But then say, oh, well, since you did that, and since you didn't go to ABC school that we, use as our gatekeeping, facade, you can't be down with us. You know what I'm saying? It's just funny that this documentary would almost use its time to almost undermine Black American actors. And not the whole documentary, but it takes a sliver of its time to do that. Big shout out to Caramel Macchiato. What up? Shout out to the QA. QA Cookie is a writing friend, ex-friend of Lonnie Love. But moving on, with Alan Lewis says they could have talked about the impact of the 80s films, the 90s films, and the 2000 films, positives and negatives more in depth. Yeah, this documentary is coming from Ava DuVernay's company is flimsy. It's almost like a book report.
Yeah.
It's not as in depth as it could be, especially with the documentaries we've been getting. The Wu-Tang documentary was fresh. The R. Kelly documentary was on point. Yeah. The documentary on Rick Rubin, that was good. We've been having some solid documentaries as of late. Yeah. And then you get this on black film from black people.
And my thing is this.
And it's flimsy.
Yeah, my thing is this. You know, to be positive, like, I love a lot of what she did in it. I love how she went into detail with, like, Harry Belafonte. I love how she had them list their credentials, you know, in terms of the films they've been in. Yeah. But there was no flow. Like, you know, are you going in chronological order? No. What order are you going into? And like I said, I saw she would, like, they would pop up, you know, different subtitles, I guess, but it still didn't make sense. You know, and those will go by fast, and it's like, okay, we're going to talk about this topic, and these people apply to this topic. Then we're going to jump all the way over here, and it's like, I'm not understanding your flow. I'm not following. Yeah. You're going back and forth.
The title cards were the title cards didn't seem to match the artistic direction of the rest of the documentary. Weird. It was just words over, like, smoke or something like that. It was weird, but the documentary was something. Honestly, I've seen YouTube documentaries done better. And that's sad when you've got the connections and the access to capital that these people on YouTube do not have. Also, big shout out to Hassan in the house. What up, what up? Nice to see. Or is it Hassan? Let me know. And NLG is in the house. Talk about I have the high ground. Let's see. Herbert Scott says, Ice Cube deserves accolades in film, especially acting. I'm including his NWA character and calling as noir method acting. But he started a lot of careers and gives slices of ADOS life. Yeah, they talked about John Singleton and they talked about Boys in the Hood, but they didn't go into the fallout of that film or any of that. It was just, I don't know. It was just light, like very light, very surface level. And it's something that I expected to be much deeper than it was. And it's a shame that it wasn't. And it's a shame that they tried to handle the Black British actor issue as if it was just American Black actors that weren't qualified enough hating on them.
Right.
And I think that was messed up. And I would love, Ava DuVernay, you watch the show. I know she watches the show. I would love to interview you and get your insight. Why was it cut like that? Why was it edited like that? Why did you not have Samuel L. Jackson come on to illustrate his point? Why did you skip over blaxploitation? Why was this? A whole bunch of questions about this documentary. I know it's your company. I know it, any of y'all, please feel free. NERDSoul, y'all know what it is. Y'all hit me up in DMs. Y'all know who I am. Anyway, Alan Lewis says, at this point, put me on the staff. I know how to do research in depth. They could have divided black film from each decade into a multi-part documentary. Thank you. And it would have been easy for them.
Starting with Harry Belafonte, because I love that
the stories that he had were great.
Yes, I love that they pretty much started with Harry Belafonte. I thought that was a great and proper place to start, but then after that, you jumped all
because then they went back to Hattie McDaniels, and I know Hattie McDaniels is not like she's walking around where we can interview her, but they just jumped back to her, and then they jumped back forward.
And then came back to Sidney Poitier, and it's like
what?
We're not following, Yeah. I mean, for a younger person who watched this and wanted to follow, they wouldn't be able to. We're older, so we kind of know what time period these people are in. Mm-hmm. But someone who's younger and who wanted to watch this and follow it, they're like, okay, are these people still living? I don't know.
Yeah, and it's funny because Sketchnificent said, did they mention Tyler Perry? No. They didn't. And say what you want, Tyler Perry is a significant part of black film in the, I guess you'd say, early 2000s. Or maybe late, well, you might as well say early 2000s. Yeah. I think the first movie was like 99 or something. Yeah. When was his first film?
I don't know.
When was Diary of a Mad Black Woman? Was it like 99 or was it after two? I get that time mixed up, but I want to say early 2000s. You can't deny his impact on black film. and the actors that he has revived their career, or the actors that he has given a career. You know what I'm saying? Tika Sumpter, won't nobody checking for her. Let's be for real. Until Tyler Perry, you know what I'm saying, gave her life. Won't nobody really thinking about Tika Sumpter like that. Candy.
Until what? Yeah, but she was on stuff before that.
But nobody was really thinking about her as like a lead type actress.
Okay.
Nobody was. But yeah, see, Vivi says Paul Robeson wasn't mentioned. That documentary was whack. Let's see, is this show on Netflix? Yes. It's a documentary series on Netflix. I believe it's 5 episodes. I think it's 5. It might be 6. It's something like that, but it's a documentary series. I want to say 5 or 6 episodes. And they vary between, say, about 40, 50 something minutes. Why are people messing with the, you know what I'm saying? Now people messing with the
No, it's the crock pot.
Oh yeah. I'm like, yo, I thought it was the people at the thing. So no mind. We good. So Caramel said Tyler Perry is obsessed with Black struggle love films. And Hassan says they didn't have the clear thought process or even linear explanation to that process.
Right.
Yeah, so it was just weird. And I think it was done bad. And what struck me was the whole British black argument. I thought it was messed up. And they dissed black actors, even if indirectly, unfairly.
Yeah.
But I'll leave that. I'll get my hands off that. I'll leave that alone. Now, I know you have a story.
Oh, Lord.
Or do you want to move on to Snoop and Jada? Which one you want? Snoop and Jada?
Well, we were supposed to end on a happy note. Do we have any happy notes?
We don't have no happy notes. Ain't no happy notes on this one.
Okay. Well, I'll go to my story.
All right,
cool. Okay, so for some of you that may or may not have heard, B. Smith, Barbara Elaine Smith, who is she was considered an American restaurateur. She's like a lifestyle guru. But she passed away on February 22nd. She had suffered from Alzheimer's. And I had heard of her before. I'd seen some of her shows like on PBS. But I think, for people who hadn't heard of her, they did more so about in, I think, January or so, or sometime last year. Because after she became sick and she, got Alzheimer's, what ended up happening was her husband had been her caretaker. But what he did is he got a girlfriend, while he was taking care of his sick wife who was suffering from Alzheimer's, and moved said girlfriend into their home. Okay. And then he actually went on television and was like, yeah, moved her into the house and, she's helping take care of her. And he's all, shocked and appalled because he's getting death threats, which of course is extreme. But dude, like, what are you doing?
She had Alzheimer's.
And
while she had Alzheimer's, since she didn't know or couldn't recognize, you decided to move your girlfriend into her house?
Right. And then there were pictures posted of B. Smith actually chatting it up and laughing with his girlfriend. But my thing is, you have Alzheimer's. She may not really know who she is.
Yeah, she didn't know.
Or she doesn't know that they're having a relationship. At any rate, use a dirty dog, I have to say. If you are supposed to be taking care of your wife and you move your girlfriend into the house. Now, if you feel like...
That's straight dirt, son.
It's dirt. If you feel like, oh my God, I just can't wait until she dies before I get a girlfriend, whatever. But you ain't got to move her into the house. You ain't even got to bring her around.
Whatever happened to, be discreet, man. Say it's like... Say you're like, oh man, I just can't take it. I need a girlfriend. Did she have to live at the house?
Yeah, so anyway, I bring that up because she did pass away on February 22nd, and I saw it posted on Facebook, and the husband had said, our daughter and I, regret to inform everyone. And it's like, do you? Because you live in La Vida Loca with the other chick. Now you can, be with your girlfriend full time. And you know what? She ain't even got to move in because she already is.
Man, so unfortunately, husband is, or ex-husband, that's just some low stuff. But this is
the thing too.
That's just some low stuff.
He's her widower, so he still reaps whatever benefits.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And she seemed to be pretty well off. And not to say that he is not, I don't know.
But still,
whether he
even
is
if
or
he get a
not,
penny,
right? It's
you know
like,
what I'm saying?
wow. And you know, my thing, like I was asking you about, I wonder where was her family? You know, like where were her sisters? You know, aunts or whatever.
Yeah.
During all of this, because you know, I can't imagine them or someone knowing what's going on and not wanting to intervene and be like, you know, no, this is crazy. You know, this is not right. You know, let us take care of her. Or he probably wouldn't have let him do it, but.
It's straight just, dirty, man.
It's dirty, and then you know, I'm not gonna even go any further with that. But
yeah, so that's the story on that. Big shouts to the chat. Hassan says, "Why let's see, saying now this is interesting. I don't know if you're trolling or not, Hassan, but I'll say this has been happening a lot more than we think, and it goes the other way as well. But in this case." We're talking about this specific man. I think people are triggered by this because, once again, like Kobe Bryant, this is someone that we all knew and kind of, you know, you take ownership of something that you spend so much time with, like our celebrities or like our TV shows or whatever. So when it comes to B. Smith, so many of us have spent so many hours or so much time with B. Smith, like even if it's on TV, just saying like, hey, this is someone that I have a reverence for. Right. And when you see someone do something wrong to that person, it affects a lot of people because a lot of people have reverence for this person. Right. Not saying that it doesn't happen to other people or that women don't do it. They're just saying that this specific situation is messed up. And dude is he's straight dirt dog for that.
And the thing is,
straight dirty.
It's a big difference to say people do this than to say this person named X did this to this person named Y. You know what I mean? Like when you can say a specific case, that, you know, that makes it more real than saying people do this. Yeah. And regardless, if people do this, those people are just as dirty as he is. Men and women. Yeah. Whoever does this to their spouse is dirty.
Big shout out to Sketchnificent says he probably kept her away from her family, and then Panda said that she doesn't believe that B has family, you know, as they understand it. Yeah, because it does seem something like, why didn't a brother or a sister step in, or you know, mom or auntie or cousin? But you know, if you don't have family like that, then you know.
He gonna pay for that. He gonna pay for that one way or the other. Because my thing is, you know, this woman that, you know, he moved into that home. If that's something that
shows the kind of person she is.
Yeah, if that's something that she would do, what's gonna happen when he get down and sick?
Man, you know, and it ain't good. But I guess we'll end off with I guess the only story we got left. Hassan says, I'm in law school and see cases in my books all the time. That's why I'm saying this. Oh, okay, cool. Understood. It's just that, you know, I didn't want this to become one of those things where it's like, oh, well, everybody does this or where other people do it. So, but I see where you coming from. All right, cool. And Chef in the house, Chris Smith, what up, says, B. Smith's husband really frustrated my soul. She is one of the reasons I became a chef. She spoke, she spoke so highly of her husband. This is really disappointing. And Panda, of course, reiterates, B. Smith didn't have family. I just looked it up. B. Smith didn't even have children. Yeah. The daughter is his daughter.
Yeah.
So lastly, I want to get into the one, the only Snoop D-O-double-G. If you know by now, Snoop responded to Gayle King. Gayle King did an interview. She asked Lisa Leslie about Kobe's past. She asked a question she shouldn't ask. People got mad. Snoop did a response. He used some profanity that he shouldn't have used. Then it got bigger. And as it got bigger, people, you know, started death threats and this, that, and the third. And Gayle is, you know, then black men and women got involved in everything and the gender wars. Big kerfuffle. Now, Snoop has apologized, and Snoop is on Red Table Talk with Jada Pinkett Smith. Why you have to breathe like that?
I'm gonna tell you why.
Okay, all right, tell me why.
Okay, I recall I was the one who presented Red Table Talk to you. Showed you about this whole thing, right?
Yes, you did.
I was excited about it. Thought it was this really great concept, great idea, and I do Still think it's a great concept, great idea, but the more I watch it, it you know, Jada Pinkett Smith, I think she means well, but she has this way of turning so many things around so that it is an insult to the whole female race. Yes, I said female race, but it's like everything
the whole gender.
Everything that everybody does is not a slap in the face to all females. Sometimes stuff is just directed towards a person who happens to be a female.
Yeah,
and not to each female. Like,
true
please
that.
Stop.
Well, in her clip, you have Snoop, and he's sitting there. Snoop is wearing. Snoop got a turtleneck. He got a blazer on. Look, Snoop looked like he going for an interview.
He went to
Snoop
Macy's.
Snoop looked like he going to family court.
He went to Macy's and was like.
I mean, Snoop is looking nice though. He looks nice. He got glasses and he looks nice. But he also looks like he's not the Snoop you know.
He's like, send me
he has his apology clothes on.
Send me to the Professor Ogilvy section.
Oh man. So here, you know, he's there, and the clip that's circulated on Twitter, because I saw it trending, I was like, oh, Jada's trending. She probably in a new movie or something. She said she did something. So I looked, and the way the clip goes is she's like, when you said this, you know, I was touched, and you know, it moved power over me or whatever. No, and I thought
it felt like it took power away from me.
Took power away from her.
From her,
and Jaden,
her mom.
Not Jada, Willow. And me and Willow and my mom and all women. And I'm like, and once again, like I said, do not, us, you and I, Black people that are living our lives chilling, do not allow Black celebrities to make us look at Black men or women negatively because of what they singularly did. All right. Just because Jada did this does not mean that all Black women are something, or just because Snoop did this doesn't mean that all Black men are something. No, all Black women are awesome. All Black men are awesome. We just need to stop dumping on each other online and stop letting celebrities moving our emotions to project onto others. So that's out the way. I thought that this was one of the things that you would do in your apology tour. You know what I'm saying? But it seems that this is backfiring to a certain degree on Twitter, at least. And I know Twitter is just a microcosm. It's not representative of all Black women. But there are a lot of Black women that are pushing back against this idea that Jada has put forward, saying like, no, he was talking to Gail. He ain't had nothing to do with me. You know what I'm saying?
I'm like, I never took it personally. I felt that the things he said were disrespectful. I don't have an issue with him being upset with Gail. I think he got too personal and talking about, you know, her looks and all kind of thing, and the profanity was too much. So I think that was disrespectful to her. Yeah. I will go as far as saying I think it was disrespectful to her as a person, and it was disrespectful to her as a Black woman. Yeah. I will say that.
But he didn't disrespect. He wasn't aiming that at Black women. Like, hey, Black women.
I didn't take it as a personal shot.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So I will go to the chat real quick. Big shout out to the chat. Before we get started, let's see. Hassan says Snoop came out hard body karate. But Caramel Macchiato said, I've never liked Jada or Will. Now, hold up. You know I like my boy Will. No, I'm just playing. But Alan Lewis said Jada's red paint talk doesn't go in depth and stays at the surface. Jada hold this L. Panda says Snoop librarian. Yo, he do look like shouts out to y'all gotta hear Prince from Thought Crimes. Hopefully he says it in a live stream. He told me what he thought Snoop looked like. That joke hilarious. I'm not gonna use his joke. I'm gonna let him utilize his own joke. Let's see. BB said, why was Snoop dressed like that? Panda said, I'm tired of these rappers. Alan Lewis said Snoop had on his best Sears turtleneck sweater.
Look, he was going to teach a class on women's sensitivity.
Oh man. Yo, so anyway, on Twitter, when I saw Jada trending, I went and there are black women that are, it seems like there might be a disconnect between Jada and the black women that she's representing. Because here, you got like Lyric at Oh Hey It's Lyric saying, Jada, chill TF out, sis, chill out for real. Then you got people furthermore saying, Jada is just as bogus as Gabrielle Union, Oprah and Gayle. She and Will turned both of their children in LGBTQ experiments, and it's disgusting. Who is she to give any advice to anyone about family and relationships? Her son was a lifeless zombie who is very ill and depressed. Then you say, let's see. I'm just saying this is how people are responding. That's just not like okay. People aren't, rah about it. You know what I'm saying? Silky T, boy. I love Silky T. But she said, I hate when people do this. Snoop was in his feelings and directed his emotions directly at who warranted it. Gayle, not Jada, not her mama or her daughter or me or any other black woman, just Gayle. People love making ish about them. I'm still with Snoop and his original statement. Let's see. And then Wolf of Wall Street said, Jada did to Snoop what women in general always do. Personalize poop, not specifically directed towards them, to guilt trip and manipulate narratives or garner sympathy. And there's some other women that go on kind of like, yo, I'm not feeling it. I'm not into it. Jada tripping. It's interesting that this is the way that Jada took it, or even kind of pushed it forward, because I see Jada as a relatively smart human being, you know what I'm saying? And I wouldn't expect Jada to approach it this way. You know what I'm saying? Like you haven't watched Red Table Talk. I haven't watched enough Red Table Talk. I've watched enough Red Table Talk to know that this was coming. Yeah, to not be surprised that it went this way, because she makes some things that aren't really that deep. Much deeper, and it's like, it's not this serious, sis. It's really not this serious. This isn't about, a feminist movement, because she's trying to push this, squeeze this, if you will, into being a feminist issue. That statement that she made about him affecting her mama, her daughter, and all women, that's a feminist statement. This is not a feminist issue. Yeah, this is more of a disrespect issue, but not a feminist issue. Big shouts to the chat. Hassan said he never said black women specifically. He shouldn't have said the dog-headed part, right. But and should have really thought it through before he got on the show. I agree. Herbert Scott said, I feel like Jada made Snoop listen to Pac mixtape with Dear Mama, Brenda's Got a Baby, and Keep Your Head Up. Oh, also add in So Many Tears. Go and put that in there too. Sketchnificent said Uncle Snoop had on his good church clothes. Chef Chris Smith said Snoop out here saying about to keep these checks popping for me and Martha Stewart. Yeah. True that. Yeah. Now, also big shout out to everybody that's in the chat that's talking to us, vibing, kicking it, chilling, conversating, or I had to say that. Conversating. Don't make Snoop come and get you and check you. I'm gonna be wearing a turtleneck. Like, I got on conversing with us. We've been enjoying it. But Nicole's view at Black Liberation 84 says, I'm so tired of this fake, quote, I'm every woman feminist trash. Snoop was calling out Gayle and Gayle King only. Yep. When will black women like Gayle be held accountable for their treasonous actions? Jada is just playing the Holly weird liberal position, even on her Facebook show. I agree with that. So it's, let's see, another woman transforming at Queen of Hearts, or Queen O Hearts, says, a respected black man passes away, and ugly black wannabe white woman spits on his name. A black man grieves his friend and calls out previously mentioned wannabe. A different dumb black woman reprimands the black man. This ain't it, Jada. So this is interesting, because it seems like there's tweets and tweets of women that don't seem to be particularly agreeing with Jada, And this is something that I would think, Jada would be kind of like on the pulse of, but it's not connecting. And my question is to the young ladies in the chat right now, how do you feel? Do you feel like when Snoop said this, before you got on the internet, before you heard other women say it or other men say it or other articles, when you heard just what Snoop said, did you feel he said that about me? Or did you feel he said that about my mom? Or said that about my sister? Or said that about my coworker? Did you feel that? Or were you just like, dang, Gail caught it? Because that's kind of how I felt. I didn't feel like he was attacking my mom or my sister or my cousins or any of that. But back to the chat. Hassan says, Professor Snoop is going to roll up and correct that grammar, homie. Always a student. What's up? Nice to see you. Glad to see always a student in the house. Says, I don't respect Jada Pinkett either, but still I have no respect for anyone who says it ain't no fun if the homies can't have none. Yes. Now, I will give you that. With that said, since that album came out in 94? Doggy Style came out in like 93, 94? Maybe, I don't think it came out in 95. That might be too late. But like 94? Is Snoop a different man now? And if he is a different man now, do we let that be his past as a young man being a young man making dumb decisions due to the people that he's around, whether he's trying to perform for them or not, and let the grown man be the grown man? Or do we still attach that to him somehow? Because now, the only stuff I've seen Snoop involved with is the football stuff, the football with the kids, and the Martha Stewart stuff from time to time. But I haven't seen the Snoop Dogg of 1994 anymore. Now, you might have him saying, he might have been saying that yesterday. I don't know. But if he wasn't, do we still tie music someone made for their peer group as I don't know, whatever young man he was, doing dumb stuff that we all do? Do we attach that to him now? And if we attach that to him now, do we also attach it to all the people that dance to it as well? Not saying that he shouldn't be accountable, but I think by now he has been, and I don't see the same activity from Snoop that we saw back then. But maybe we do, and maybe I'm just not seeing it on my timeline. Maybe I'm just not seeing it when I look at stuff. But holla at me, let me know, because I'm not trying to dispute what you're just saying. I'm just saying, is this something that should be put to bed, and also, since it's over 20 something, 30 years old or whatever?
And also, that's not the issue at hand.
Okay. 92. Thanks, Herbert.
And I will say, just speaking as a woman, not for all women, but as a woman, that's not the issue at hand. I don't have to like anything that he has ever said about women in music, but that in and of itself is not the issue at hand. I cannot like a lot of things that you do, but then go and say, well, when you did this, I agree with that stance. You get what I'm saying?
Okay.
Just because I agree with you on one thing doesn't mean I can't disagree with you on other things.
All right. Okay. All right. I see what you're saying. And there's a lot of people in the chat saying, nope, Snoop is the same person, still cheating, still acting a fool, still going on PR Sears sweater tours, still chasing the dragon, still the same. Oh, man. So that was 92 Snoop. We looking at 2020 Snoop. Now, because I honestly don't know if he's different, because all I've seen him do is, stuff for the kids, like football stuff. And that is a completely different person than the Snoop that we knew. But for instance, like say you or I, how far back do we go to say, oh, but you did this? Like, how far do we go? If the person has changed their behavior. You know what I'm saying? You guys are saying that Snoop hasn't, so in that case, you can't really do that. But saying if he did change his behavior, how far then do we go back? Big shout out to the chat. Panda says, Snoop was in a whole video with Selena Powell snorting coke. What? Allegedly owns a porn company. Snoop been doing a lot. Now, hold on. Porn company, we cannot, it's still work. It's the sex work is work. I'm just saying, is it what I want to get into it? No.
I love how people want to like jump on people for doing porn, but you watch it.
I'm just saying, look, all I know is that it's supposed to be sex work. It's supposed to be real work. That's all I can say. I don't know nothing else.
I'm not saying whoever said that. I'm not saying you watch porn. I don't know if you do. I'm just saying in general that people in general
be watching
on
porn.
other people about making porn, but it's like
just don't get addicted to it. You know what I'm saying?
It's like that you watch it. Like it's like you getting upset because people eat bacon all the time. Do you not eat bacon?
Bacon is one of the illest toppings. No, so Kibi says, well, as I see it as two parts. It was towards Gail, but he's had that sentiment towards women before. The Gail thing regarding them with different from different men. Example, why don't he do the Harvey doc? Don't wait for her. So yeah. That's all right. I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. And Hassan says, if it's legal, why are they mad at a legit business? Mind your business. Oh man. So shout out to everybody. Thank you for coming through. Going to hit that like button. It helps us out. Also going to make sure to comment in the after, or if you missed the beginning in the in the replay, going to hit us with a comment. If you got that time, make sure to share it to all your friends. We will be back next Sunday, but I feel we have exercised the demons. We have had a decent talk. You know what I'm saying? Look at us. We talked. We didn't yell at each other. We didn't hate each other. We didn't talk about black women as this and black men as that. We ain't doing none of that. Look at what we did. You can now take that into your week. All right? Do not dump on each other. Use some tact. So, guys, going to hit that thumbs up if you like what you saw. Hit that thumbs down if you don't. But if you hit that thumbs down, you're going to end up on Red Table Talk. And you hurt Jada, Willow, and her mama. I wish I knew her mama's name. What is her mama?
I forgot.
I don't know. Sarah?
I forgot.
Maybe Jackie? Is it something with a J? What is Jada's mama's name? Put it in the chat real quick. Jada mama name. Because I don't want to be calling her Jada's mama. You know what I'm saying? She's famous too. You know what I'm saying? Give her props. Because Willow only had a song. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, thank you, Alan, for coming through. I'm going to give a shout out to everybody that rolled through. That's Alan Lewis, Panda in the house. Panda. VV up in here. Lady Lisa says what's up too. The QA, Shango Zulu came through. Arkham James. We had Kibi in the house. That's right. Nice to see you as well. We had Sketchnificent. Love Sketchnificent, man. Sketchnificent is just an awesome name and awesome work. I see you online, player. Then Herbert Scott came through. We had Chef Chris Smith come through. Man, we had a lot of stars out here tonight, y'all. Y'all making me proud. Big shout out to Caramel Macchiato. Let's see, who did I miss? If I missed you, just say me in the chat and I'll make sure I shout you out. I think I got everybody. Hassan, we got Hassan came through. Always a student dropped some knowledge on us. Let's see. Man, let's see. And yeah, that looks like it might be it. So guys, thank you for coming through. Holla at me, I'm gonna holla at you. Lisa, say what's up to the people.
What's up, y'all?
So, NERD, SOUL, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, going to hit that thumbs up. Share me to your friends. If you want to talk gaming, holla at here right on the channel. We got tons of stuff coming. We got Black Lightning coming back tomorrow. We got tons of cool stuff, comic books, all kinds of craziness. And we got some red carpet for Superman Red Sun coming either tomorrow or Tuesday, depending on how fast the process goes. Guys, thank you for rolling through. Much love to y'all and peace. Peace. Panda, I said peace. Peace. Caramel said peace. Peace. Shango said peace. Peace. Alan said peace. Peace. Hassan said peace. Always a student. Come on, I said peace. A VV, peace. A peace, peace. Come on, peace. A peace, peace. Herbert, peace. Peace. Peace, peace, Chris Smith, peace, peace, a peace, peace, sketch, a peace, a peace, a peace, peace, ha. Oh man, for real. Much love to all y'all. See y'all next week, and we out.